Hey there. Today I want to talk about migraines and travel. So, to paint a picture, you've packed the meds, you packed the eye mask, you packed the neck pillow and the ginger chews, and probably a whole pharmacy full of medications in your carry on. And you still got a migraine at 30,000 feet. Or maybe you made it through the first flight thinking all was clear until the migraine hits on the way to your hotel. Or maybe you've just stopped traveling and going on vacation and going on work trips altogether. Because the last time you tried, it cost you 3 days of your life and you decided it wasn't worth it. If that's you, I want you to hear this clearly. This is not your destiny. You can fix this and you can get back to traveling again without the fear of a migraine setting in. Okay, so check this out. Here's what nobody, and I mean nobody, is telling you. Not your doctor, not your headache specialist, not the Instagram or Facebook migraine influencer with the ice cap on their head. No one's talking about this. But the reason that travel destroys migraine sufferers has almost nothing to do with the plane, with the altitude and pressure changes, or the hotel pillow, or dehydration, or the weather changes. None of it. It has everything to do with what is happening inside your brain and your whole nervous system before you ever leave the driveway. Yes, before you even leave for the trip. Now, before we dive in, let me quickly introduce myself if you're new. I'm Dr. Kevin Wissman. I am a medical professional, a former migraine sufferer for over 21 years, and I'm the founder of Tame the Migraine. We teach the true neuroscience of migraines, the root cause approach that the medical and insurance system doesn't talk about or fix for you. And today I'm going to cover 8 of the most counterintuitive, unexpected travel tips that you've ever heard for migraine. Now, I could cover the simple, obvious ones, but I'll leave some migraine blog posts to cover the obvious stuff. These tips that we're going to cover today, they are going to go so deep into the why that you're going to look at your future trips completely different. Okay, let's dive in. But before I give you a single tip, I need to give you something more important. Let's call it a lens or a new understanding. Because without this, the tips are just random advice that doesn't actually help. With this new lens or perspective, everything's going to click for you. Okay, so here's your brain on a normal day. Your brain and your whole body's nervous system has one primary job. It's not thinking, it's not feeling, its primary job is to answer one question every second of every day. And that question is, am I safe right now? But the thing is, it checks 217 different things, whether it's your energy, your blood sugar level, your sleep, your pain level, maybe it's your stress level, your blood pressure, your heart rate, your breath rate, and on and on and on. It's all secretly checking that. And ultimately, it comes back to the question, am I safe? Is everything working correctly? And when everything's generally fine, your nervous system is humming quietly in the background, everything working perfectly, no migraines. Just like a smoke detector doing its job. It's silent, but it's ready. But it's not triggered. It's not going off if it's not triggered. But here's what happens after years of migraines and headaches. Every attack is a threat event. Every anticipation of the attack is a threat event. Every canceled plan, every missed birthday, every moment that you white knuckle through work by pushing through with a 7 out of 10 pain level, your nervous system is cataloging all of this. It's tracking it. It's writing down the history. And over time, it stops trusting that things were safe. It starts turning up that sensitivity dial, that alarm dial, until one day your smoke detector is so sensitive that even the toaster can set it off. That's what we call central sensitization. It's when your nervous system and your brain specifically has been trained. It's been trained, literally wired through repetition to detect and respond to threats that are not actually dangerous, just like traveling, just like planes. This is like vacation or staying and sleeping in a new hotel. Now, I want you to imagine you take that nervous system of yours and you take it to the airport. You've got new smells, you've got fluorescent lights, you've got crowds of unpredictable strangers. There's announcements blaring overhead, there's scheduled changes, security lines. There's just no control. your smoke detector isn't just going off, it's screaming. And that screaming will get louder and louder until finally it turns into a migraine. And that nervous system, and that is the perfect neurological recipe for that migraine. But it goes one more level deeper. But we're not even done there. So if your mind's blown already, hang tight because we're going to go one more level deeper. So these patterns, they can be learned by your brain. So these patterns of traveling, if it's caused a migraine in the past, they can be learned by your brain, by your memory. And so neurologically, what's happening, it becomes a patterned response where if you've gotten migraines while traveling or flying or going on vacation, then all of your future trips, your brain is already conditioned. It has a conditioned response to be on extra high alert. So that dial, that knob, that smoke detector sensitivity gets turned up before the trip even happens. Which means even if the trip goes perfectly, you can still get a migraine because of that faulty conditioned response. And if it gets really bad, your brain has been trained to cause a migraine whenever you travel, no matter what happens. So every tip I'm about to give you is designed to do one thing. It's to speak the language that your nervous system actually understands. It's not to suppress the symptoms or to stay hydrated. It's not another Band-Aid solution. What we're actually covering today is to actually tell your brain at a biological, at a neurological level that it is safe to relax so it doesn't have to go down that faulty conditioned response. And so it can turn down that sensitivity dial. So let's get into it. And hey, real quick, if this is already hitting different than anything you've ever heard about migraines or migraines and traveling specifically, hit that subscribe button below right now. Every video on this channel goes this deep. This is what we do here. So hit subscribe so you don't miss what's coming. Okay, tips, let's go. So tip number one, you need to start your trip 3 days early. So here's a tip that almost nobody does, and it might be the most important one in this entire video. Most people's travel preparation looks like this: logistics first, body second. You book the flights, you pack the bags, you download the movies, you charge the AirPods. But emotionally and neurologically, you start the trip the night before, if at best, right? But your nervous system, your brain, it started the trip 1-2 weeks ago. Secretly, you have no idea, but this is what's going on. And here's why this matters. So there is a very real neurological phenomenon called anticipatory stress. And here's the key. Your brain does not distinguish between imagining a stressor and experiencing one. So your threat response will fire either way, whether it's imaginary or it's real. And so think about this. If you were secretly imagining this event going badly, that's putting that nervous system sensitivity dial, triggering it. The smoke alarm is going off. I mean, think about this one. Have you ever had a hard conversation coming up, maybe with your boss or a difficult family member, and you spent 3 days dreading it, replaying how it might go, losing sleep over it, and then the actual conversation took like 20 minutes and it was fine? Well, your nervous system spent 3 days in this oversensitive state for a 20-minute conversation. This is where letdown migraines, post-stress migraines kick in. So now apply that to the trip. If the trip is stressful, and for migraine sufferers, travel can be stressful. Your nervous system has been activated for days before you ever step foot in that airport. You're already exhausted, whether you realize it or not, before the trip starts. You're already sensitized. Your brain is already primed. So the unexpected tip is this. Okay, so 3 days before you travel, increase your nervous system regulation practice. Not maintain it, but increase it. Do an extra rep. Do a couple more sets. Do 5-10 minutes more. Whatever your tools are, whether it's breath work or the right meditation, the right breath work as well, or maybe it's movement or journaling, you need to turn down the volume in advance. You're not packing your body for the trip. You are training your nervous system to feel safe before the storm even arrives. The people who do this, they show up to the airport already calm. They've been playing it out 3 days in advance, but in a calm state rather than secretly worrying about it. And a calm, regulated nervous system does not trigger that conditioned response, and it doesn't kick off the threshold to cause the neurologic migraine either. This one tip alone could change your entire travel experience. Okay, so tip number 2, as I was thinking about this, you need to preload your brain with safety. This one is going to sound almost too simple, but stay with me because the neuroscience behind it is fascinating. Your brain, right here, has a structure called the amygdala. It's this tiny little thing right here, but it does a huge role when it comes to you and your migraines. So I want you to think of your brain, think of the amygdala as your brain's security guard. Its entire job, 24 hours a day, is to scan your environment and ask that one question. Have I seen this before, and is it safe? So when you walk into your own kitchen in the morning, your amygdala barely flinches. It's seen this 1,000 times. It says, this is familiar, this is safe, we can just move on. But when you walk into a loud, chaotic, fluorescent light lit airport that, where the terminal with 1 million people for the first time, or just for like the 10th time or 20th time, your amygdala goes into full alert. It says, this is new, this is unfamiliar, this is unknown, this is a potential threat, so we have to stay activated. And here's the thing that most people don't realize. So novelty costs your nervous system energy. This is why even excitement or that letdown and that excitement can cause a migraine if you have too much fun. You see, you're processing unfamiliar environments. It requires active neurological work, and an exhausted and overactive nervous system and brain is a migraine prone one. So the unexpected tip is this here on number 2, is to become familiar with the unfamiliar before you go. Even just thinking about it in advance will help you stay more calm. This might sound silly, but look up photos of your departure terminal. Watch a YouTube walkthrough of your hotel. Read the menu of the restaurant near where you're staying, but enjoy it, not out of pressure. Enjoy it just to prep yourself. I mean, professional athletes do it all the time. They envision what the game will look like before the game has started. They're priming their brain because we all know that work, playing sports, all of these high level things, they're not just your body doing amazing things, they're your brain doing amazing things. So you have to prime your brain. Maybe even listen to an ambient airplane cabin that sounds. I mean, they're on YouTube, they're on Spotify. Take advantage of the internet. And what you're doing is giving your amygdala a preview. You're just preloading your brain security guard with, I've seen this, I recognize this, it's completely safe. So when you walk into that terminal, instead of new and threatening, your brain says, oh, not only have I seen this, but I've seen this recently, so we're okay. This is neuroplasticity in action. You're literally wiring new associations before the trip even starts. And some people think that's silly to do these extremes, but like if you want to have a good trip and you've had migraines in the past, you're more prone to get them. And if professional athletes are doing it, then we know it works. And sure, this isn't the Super Bowl or the World Cup, but if you want to have as much fun as a player does while playing in the Super Bowl or the World Cup as you do on your vacation or your work trip, then maybe you should do some of these little things. It takes you 5 minutes, even though it sounds silly and different. If you want exceptional results, I tell my clients this all the time. If you want exceptional results, you have to do exceptional things. You have to be the exception. And so these associations, they cost you almost no energy at the airport because you primed yourself, you preloaded your brain. Your brain already did that work at home where it felt safe. Okay, so tip number 3. Shoot. Okay, I've got to run to my next client. So I had about 6 more tips. Okay, how about we do this? So I'll upload this today, and then I'll get part 2 uploaded tomorrow. And I mean, I'd argue the second half is even more powerful because it gets into the stuff that is almost never talked about. I know this stuff is kind of unique and different, but like the next 6 are pretty good. So you were talking about specific audio frequencies you can listen to on the flight to prevent and shut down migraines and how to prevent the annoying letdown migraine I'm talking about. Plus, we're going to get into sleep in new environments in the reset window strategy that could literally save your whole vacation. and something I call the permission slip. Your nervous system, it's been waiting for it. So, okay, so here's what I want you to do. Hit that subscribe button and turn on your notifications, because then you'll get notified tomorrow because you might forget that you watched this today and that you want to watch part 2. So turn on your notifications. You'll get notified when I upload this, probably tomorrow, when I can get to the next recording. Yeah, I just don't want you to miss the second half, especially if you're enjoying this part. Okay, so I got to run. I hope you enjoyed the first 2 tips, and at least like let those things start percolating in your mind that, oh my gosh, like there's so much more I can do about this to actually enjoy my travel and to never get a migraine again. It's so possible. I just went on a week-long trip. We stayed in a resort, same room with our 2 kids, and my parents were there for 7 days, hot weather, multiple layovers, early mornings, late nights with flights. No migraine. I absolutely enjoyed it. I was migraine free. Even though I had migraines for 20 years, I had headaches every single day. Like, this stuff works. It's just things people don't talk about. But we are applying cutting edge, high level neurologic tips, not just something like eat more, sleep better, drink more water. We're going into this at a deep level. So I'll see you tomorrow. Promise it's worth the wait. Peace. Have a great day.